Sora, Donald, Goofy. Yeah. It's on. Yeah.
And welcome back to another episode of Under Review, where we look at all the latest and greatest games from majority of all the consoles. This week marks something very, very special to not just myself, but to many, many fans out there in the world. That means that the release of Square Enix and the partnership with Disney's title, The Final Conclusion to Kingdom Hearts, has come out. 13 years in the making this review has been. Well, the review itself has not taken 13 years, let me put it that way. The game itself took 13 years to come out. But for a game that's actually taken in the span of, 17 years from the very beginning, we finally have a conclusion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kingdom Hearts 3, for if you're a fan of the series, it's going to go without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to enjoy this game and you're going to love it. There's going to be a moment that you sit down, you're going to pick this controller up, you're going to start playing, regardless of what platform you play it on, that the nostalgia is going to return and you're going to start to feel like a kid again. And the worlds that you visit within this game fit so perfectly within the story arc of the actual series. Now, don't get me wrong. The story arc for Kingdom Hearts is way too confusing. There are fans, diehard fans of the series, that are still just as confused by the story as anybody else. So before you even ask the question, because I got asked the question before, if I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game before, can I pick up number 3 and play it and still enjoy it? The answer to that is yes. You can pick up the game, you can play it, and you will probably enjoy it. If you don't know what that Kingdom Hearts 3 is, it is an action RPG that is combining worlds of Disney characters and some of your most beloved Disney stories with Final Fantasy and other story arcs from within Square Enix's publishing house. Now, they combine all these worlds together, and I have to say that the moment I sat down and the startup screen came on, the music started, the rush of nostalgia came back, I felt like a kid again, and the magic had started all over again. That does not mean that Kingdom Hearts 3 does not have its problems, though. It does have some issues. The first issue to me is, now it takes the combat strictly from, if you've ever played the Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, it takes the combat from that game. So it's basically a one-button combat game. And it combines all the aerial and combo attacks exclusively, like really, really heavy. That's what the main focus of the combat in this game is. It's all going to be based on combos and how well you can do aerial combat combos and chain them together. It's all going to be based on chains. That's how you get your power-up boost. That's how you get the extra theme park combos, which is another thing I thought was actually fantastic. I thought it was brilliant. The fact that the more you chain these combos together, it unlocks something called, where you actually use Disney theme park rides as a master combo. And it brings out and they vary, so they're not all the same. They do vary, and they vary quite a bit. And it brings out a theme park ride that will then turn into a finishing combo. And it actually is awesome to play as. All your favorite characters return. And one thing I will say that I love about this version of the game is the fact that no longer are you dumbed down to a 3-person party. You have a 5-person party now. So Donald and Goofy are going to be with you 99% of the game. They will be with you. You don't have to interchange them out. and other characters from different worlds will be able to join your story with no problems at all. Especially when you get to like the Toy Story world, and you get to the toy box, and you quickly become toys. Goofy and Donald will fight alongside you, and then Buzz Lightyear and Woody will join you in hunting down their friends. And that is awesome to me because I did not like having to always switch out Donald or Goofy. Because honestly, Donald is going to be your healer. Goofy is going to be your melee combat character, and they work really, really well together. And when you have to separate them or split them up, it tended to lead to some harder fights than needed to be. And now this fact that they upped it to 5-player count instead of a 3-player count, I thought was awesome. The graphics, man, I can't say enough about the graphic-wise with this game. It looks brilliant. You can see it just in the video you're watching right now. The graphics are phenomenal. They are a brilliant centerpiece to this already creative game. And I think that the worlds just look like they came straight out of the DVD or straight off of the Disney TV screen. These stories work so well, and the voice acting is superb. A majority of the voice actors from these movies and these series have all returned, with the exception of only a couple. And even the ones that did get replaced, you'll notice that Elsa doesn't really sound the same, but they got somebody that actually performed it pretty well and didn't have much of an issue. Not once did it actually take you out of the story and you start wondering what happened to certain characters. But in all, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a must-own for any platform you have it on. If you have a PlayStation, definitely get it on PlayStation. If you have an Xbox, get it on Xbox. Regardless of what you play it on, this is just a jump back to the old school feel of when you first sat down and played Kingdom Hearts for the very first time. One thing I will say though, this game has a lot, and I mean a lot, of cutscenes. And they're frequent. And they're long in length. So if you're one of those gamers that gets deterred very quickly, or turned off by having to sit there and put your controller down and watch a long cutscene, you're going to be a little bit aggravated. You can't skip them, but that takes away a lot of what the story is actually giving you, even though the story is utterly confusing to follow anyway. But there are a lot of cutscenes, and it does take a lot to get through. You're going to be looking at about roughly 30 to 40 hours of gameplay, especially if you go back to the worlds and you look for all the little side stuff to do and the side challenges. And I will say, trying to find those little hidden Mickeys in every single world, that's a challenge in and of itself that's going to suck 8 to 10 hours of your life away trying to find them all. But with that, we gave Kingdom Hearts 3 a very solid 9 out of 10. We thought it was a great game. There were some small camera hiccups, some camera angles that didn't seem to work out and got a little bit frustrating, especially when we were in mid-combat, and especially when we're in aerial combat and we need those cameras to look a certain way, and they just didn't work out that way. And the overly long cutscenes that didn't really need to be. I felt like I watched more cutscenes than I actually did gameplay at some points. But I'm not saying the cutscenes they're entertaining to watch. I'm not saying they're not entertaining. They are entertaining to watch, especially if you're a fan of any of these movies or series that you're watching. They're really quite interesting to watch. But there are a lot, and they are quite lengthy. So thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this review. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, game on.